You know, I, well, first of all, happy Monday. Honestly, right now, I can't help but feel happy. And I mean, the weekend that I just had, it's highly possible that this might be the best weekend of 2024. It's definitely the best weekend so far. But considering that after today, we have October, November, and December. I mean, that is subject to change. It is. But when the year is over, of everything that's happened so far this year, this past weekend is going to be near the very top. Damn near at the very top. In fact, if I actually have one low from this whole, really my one low from yesterday especially, was my phone charger died. Yeah, basically, the wiring was actually showing off in the cord. So I tried to put electrical tape on it, but I think as I was putting the tape on, then somehow it got broken. So, ain't life screwy. I was better off just not doing anything about it. Oh well. Oh, and yeah, I'm already aware of the fact that the bills got waxed yesterday. In fact, quite a few of my NFL picks did not go as planned. So I'll get to that momentarily. But my high was just, my high was literally this whole weekend. It was. I mean, even if I was at Cuca Lake yesterday for the sake of putting furniture away for the winter, the fact I was up there at all, one last time, that was enough. Although, for those of you guys that are wondering, yeah, it was 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon by the time the videos got uploaded to Facebook and YouTube. And that really is because of, there's no service up at Cuca Lake anymore. It's shut off. So, because my plan was to obviously do my video and upload it from Cuca Lake, but with no cell service or anything like that, I couldn't do anything. So, that was a bummer. Thankfully, I'm not going to have that problem. Because that's the last Cuca Lake video I'm going to do. But actually, the fact there's no service up there is why we're not going to Cuca Lake anymore. Well, one of the big reasons. I mean, if I were to make videos up at Cuca Lake now, I would need to go all the way to either Penn Yan or Hammondsport to the library and upload the videos from there. Which, yeah, I could do, but if I wanted to look at social media or anything to that degree, I'd have to stay there for the entire day. Which, I mean, let's be real here, while some really cool things happen during the day, all the good stuff happens at night, and I need to use my phone for that. So, that's the plan going forward. After counting everything, I've done 38 Cuca Lake videos. So, last year I did 39, almost 40. So it looks like, to be fair, as long as ideally the bare minimum I would accept is 30, because that would quite literally be 1/12 of the year, 1 month actually, 1 month's worth of videos. 36 would be more ideal, simply because 36, there's 365 days in the year. That's essentially 1/10 of the year right there. I did 38, so I did more than 1/10 of the year. That's pretty good. Right, let me get to my act of kindness and then get right to work. My act of kindness was, well, as I just alluded to, I helped put furniture away for the winter with my dad. We even put the jet ski back up. I mean, it was a lot of busy work. And actually, I should also mention my high was I got to see my brother, my sister-in-law, and my nephews. That was great. I love seeing them. But they set us back like an hour and a half at least, because they wanted to go, boating and skiing. I mean, to be fair, like, if nothing else, with them gone, I was able to do my video yesterday without any interference. I mean, listen, if it were up to me, yeah, of course I'd be happy to have them in videos, but they don't want that. I mean, they don't want to even be, they don't even want their names to be mentioned, which I get. That's why honestly I only save, naming names for very special occasions, i.e. day 1000 and day 2000. Speaking of which, we're getting close to day 2500. And today's the last day of September. Don't worry, I have a video for that tomorrow. But enough about that. Let's get to all my NFL picks that I made over the last couple of days. As well as I need to talk about the Cell Saga. Holy cow, I have a lot to do. Okay, so let me get my file up for my NFL picks. Okay, now, I didn't write it down, but I do know that going into Sunday, I was 1-0 because the Cowboys beat the Giants. So 1-0. Okay, so let me get a load of what happened yesterday. Okay, so I was right about the Bengals. That makes things, hold on, makes things 2-0. Okay, I was wrong about the Saints, or wrong with the Falcons, so that makes it 2-1. I was right about the Texans, so 3-1. Wrong about the Broncos, so 3-2. I was right about the Vikings, 4-2. Awesome. Already doing better than the week before. Wrong about both the Colts and the Steelers, 4-4. Or wrong about the Colts and the Rams, so 4-4. Okay. Right about the Buccaneers, and right about the 49ers, and right about the Commanders. So that already brings me up to 7-4. I need to get one more right so I don't get 8-8 again, please. And I was right about the Chiefs too. So now I'm 8-4. Now I need to get at least one more right. Oh. Hello there. I forgot to start with saying the autumn wind is a pirate. Blustering in from sea, with a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold, and the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down, and laugh when he's conquered and won. I was right about the Raiders, so that officially makes it 9-4. And I already know about the Bills, so 9-5. I'm already doing better than I did last week. Awesome. Now, there's 2 games tonight. Let me take a look at them real fast. Titans and the Dolphins and the Seahawks and the Lions. I mean, I could almost simply... I mean, again, I'm already doing better than 8-8 this week, so I don't really need to worry. But, you know what? The Dolphins still have Tyreek Hill, so I'll pick the Dolphins. And for the Seahawks and the Lions, I'll do the Lions. So I'll pick the Dolphins and the Lions. Both teams are at home. I think the Seahawks' number is just about up. Actually, the Lions should be 2-1, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Yeah. I think the Lions are going to get this done. So, yeah, the Dolphins and the Lions. And there we go. Oh, also, before it. Also, make sure everyone keeps score at home. I don't know if you can tell, but this is 9-5 right there. I got 9 games right and 5 games incorrect. Okay. I forgot I'm not at an angle. Okay. So, now that's taken care of, as usual, at the end of every month, since I've been talking... I mean, for those of you who haven't been following, since the death of Akira Toriyama, I've been doing my arc thoughts of Dragon Ball. And last month I did the Frieza Saga. So now I have to do the Cell Saga, which... I mean, listen, as a kid growing up in the 90s, you better believe I know what the Cell Saga entails. Like... Well, first of all, let's cut right to the chase. Like, when I was a kid, and therefore didn't read manga or didn't know the story of Dragon Ball, like, after Namek, I thought the story was over. But I was holding out hope something new would happen. And then we got the announcement on Tsunami, we're getting new episodes of Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, yes! And Frieza's coming back too. This is going to be so cool. Like, what's going to happen? What wound up happening very much subverted my expectations. So Frieza comes back, like part cyborg now, ready to, come to Earth and kill Goku. But Goku isn't back from Namek yet. Because he was actually... We will later find out he's been on Yardrat perfecting a new technique called instant transmission. It's essentially a really fancy way of teleporting. If Goku can sense where you are, he can teleport to where you are. That's really cool. So, Frieza shows up, but then a mysterious figure shows up. Carrying a sword in hand and wearing a blue capsule cork jacket. Who can transform into a Super Saiyan? He pretty much one-shots Frieza right then and there. Actually, the iconic moment of Trunks using his sword to slice Frieza in half. The Super Saiyan's name was Trunks, I'm sorry. Frieza's face going like, shh, and then he explodes. And Frieza brought his dad, like, okay, clearly dad, like King Cold, Frieza's dad, like he's gonna do something, right? Trunks one-shots him too. Like, King Cold actually bargains, like, might I please see your sword? And Trunks is like, okay. He gives him the sword, he's like, truly this sword was forged by a master. Clearly this is the reason why he beat my son. So King Cold takes the sword, tries to kill Trunks. Trunks is like, shh. Literally grabs him there. He's like, well, you're wrong, but I'm glad you tried. And then he one-shots King Cold. They're waiting for Goku to come back. And, basically everyone's, shoot and ski. Goku comes back, and then he immediately talks to Trunks. And turns out Trunks is Vegeta and Bulma's son from the future. Yeah, this is a Terminator story. A time travel story. Now, in the world of fiction, having time travel as a plot device, very messy stuff. At the end of the day, it really is confusing. Like, really confusing. Laughably so. Like, for a lot of franchises, going into space and time travel is like a death sentence. And technically Dragon Ball did them both. And it's still beloved to this day. So, honestly, Dragon Ball is one of the few instances where I've legitimately seen both space travel and time travel, particularly the latter, done in a way that was good. Another one was Crash Bandicoot, but that's a video for another day. So, Trunks says in 3 years' time, androids are going to come and they're going to kill everybody. So they train for 3 years, and here's where things get a little weird for me. Because it's 3 years later, and, you know, obviously the Z Fighters train, including Vegeta having become Super Saiyan. And it's a day event about when they attack. They attack South City, I believe it was. And it actually dawned on me then. Because like normally the Z Fighter is able to sense the energy of others. And like, okay, let's go to where they are. Androids don't have that problem. The Z Fighters cannot sense where they are. You gotta find the old-fashioned way. By finding them for yourself. And then it dawns on me, like, you go back to the Trunks, yeah, let's be real here. There's a lot of things in this saga that are Trunks' fault. Including simply not telling everyone what the androids look like. And then there's the other thing. Because if you're familiar with the Cell Saga and the androids and all that stuff, you know that originally androids 19 and 20 were going to be the two androids. But Akira Toriyama's editor famously didn't want that because there's nothing scary about an old man, who was that android 20, and the fat person, which was android 19. To which I say, literally any character design can work if you know how to make it work, and if you let the chef cook, you'll get something good. Yeah, honestly, I have a lot of mixed... I love this saga, I really do. But there are some things I have picked apart to death over the years. Including the bullshittiness that was Akira Toriyama's editor. Speaking of which, another problem. So, Trunks comes back, he reveals that it's androids 17 and 18. Which are they're basically teenagers, kids. Which Akira Toriyama's editor didn't want that either. Because kids aren't very scary. Okay, I could literally name several other instances where children can be very terrifying. But, okay. So now we get to Cell. Okay, we get to Cell. That's cool. And, I mean, to be fair, in the defense of Akira Toriyama's editor, while we had to go through a lot of shit that completely was not Akira Toriyama's original vision, Cell was a great villain. He was. Especially after he achieved his perfect form. You know. And here's the thing. Most people wanted to destroy the world because, like, you know, they're evil. That's what Frieza's plan was. But Cell wanted to do it just because. Actually, I don't think that made sense. I'm sorry. Basically, like, Cell wanted to prove he was the strongest. So they brought back the Cell games, which was basically his way of bringing back the World Martial Arts Tournament. And not to mention, there's so many iconic moments, like Vegeta, first of all, becoming Super Saiyan, destroying Android 19. Only to get later thwacked by Android 18 later. Vegeta has a lot of really great moments. Unfortunately, they're overshadowed by letting Cell talk him into finding Android 18, absorbing her, and then becoming Perfect Cell. But make no mistake, like, take that aside, Vegeta had a lot of really great moments. And Trunks, for that one stupid thing he did, not telling everyone the androids look like, you know, he was great. Piccolo absorbing Kami, like, that blew my mind. Like, holy cow, they're actually going to reunite. Like, what's going to happen next? I mean, spoiler, they go to Namek, get Dende, and now Dende's the new Guardian of Earth. And I mean, listen, Goku for everything he went through. Because originally what was going to happen is Goku was going to die from a heart virus. That's why he wasn't able to fight the androids in the future. That's why Trunks had to go back. But, so Trunks brought back a vial of medicine for him. He gets to, obviously Goku does a lot after he recovers from the heart virus. I mean, unfortunately what happened was, like, in Trunks' timeline, 3 days before the androids arrived, that's when Goku suffers from the heart virus. In this new timeline, Goku's heart virus happens as he's fighting Android 19. Which really is a fight Goku could have ended a lot sooner, but, plot convenience. The reveal that Android 20 was Dr. Gero, and how Android 17 and 18 turned on their creator. That was both very intriguing, but also very satisfying. The fact that, because the way that Androids 19 and 20 work, they have like nodes on their palms that absorb energy. Meanwhile, Android 17 and 18, and this is why they were so incredibly powerful, they, basically, Dr. Gero created perpetual energy. Like, yes, on paper, Android 17 and 18 really are not as powerful as a Super Saiyan. However, or in Piccolo's case, a Super Namek, because he had to fight Android 17 before his 17 got absorbed by Cell. You need to destroy the androids right now. Otherwise, because in the beginning, you're here, androids are about here. But over time, you get tired. The longer the fight goes out, the more energy you use. Meanwhile, the androids are still the same. Eventually, that's why you lose to the androids. If that makes sense. Basically, you gotta destroy the androids with an attack that's so incredibly powerful they can't possibly defend it. Heaven forbid anyone actually try that, but I digress. So now we get to Cell. And you'll notice I haven't talked about the man of the hour yet. I'm not talking about Cell. I'm talking about Gohan. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't know where the story was going. I didn't read manga, obviously. It wasn't readily available to us. So I had no idea what was coming next. But I always had a really cool thought. What if Gohan was the one who fights and defeats Cell? And sure enough, for the record, Goku gets a lot of flack for not being a good dad. And some of it is deservedly so. Particularly in this case where Goku knew all along that Gohan had it within him to be the one to defeat Cell. And he does. But the fact that Goku had to risk endangering his son in order for Gohan's true energy and potential to be realized. That's why Goku gets flack for not being a good parent. It didn't dawn on me when I was a kid at that time, but I do see where that comes from. But come on, man. Gohan becoming the first Super Saiyan 2. What do I even need to say about that? It was everything I was hoping for and more. Again, much like Vegeta toying with Android 18 and Cell, you had to destroy Cell beforehand, otherwise Cell might do something, like try and blow himself up, thus destroying the Earth. Thus Goku had to sacrifice himself, and then, now Gohan is... Actually, this was Akira Toriyama's original plan. Regardless of whatever happened, Akira Toriyama's editor being a dick, and, not letting the chef cook his dinner, so to speak. Gohan being the new protector of Earth, that was always the original plan. And he was able to do it. Listen, if you want to watch the Cell Saga in detail as to how every plot element works, watch Totally Not Mark's review of the Cell Saga. He does a much better job of that sort of thing than I ever could. Shout out to Totally Not Mark. Love your work. But this is just my experience. And for everything I mentioned, Trump's not telling everybody what the androids look like, the thought of using time travel as a plot device, everything I just mentioned that has been picked apart to death, not just by me, but by a lot of people on the internet. I'm sorry, the South Saga is still pretty flippin' great. In fact, I might watch old clips after I'm done uploading this video. So I might do just that. What can I say, man? If Dragon Ball were to end it here, I mean, everybody would still want more, but the story overall would be satisfying. Thankfully, there's more to come. And the story gets even better from here, if you can believe it. Yeah, I'm actually one of the people that doesn't mind all the problems with the Boo Saga. But we'll get to that next month. I hope y'all like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video for all of you guys watching. Joe Fernando. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. Remember, if you want to talk channel, which we here to end on your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.